the society was able to cop that. So even if I've seen societies in the Middle East whereby they cover it to two, but the cases of rape is very, very high.
Yeah.
In India, there is no much nudity, but rape is the highest in India.
It's the issue of mindset.
It's the issue of mindset. And if you look at if you look at in the past, and even in the village, you go to the village, you see people still dressed in such a way that they don't really cover their body. But rape is less in the villages than in the city. So it's a mindset. It's a mindset. Anyone who wants to rape another person, a evil-minded person, a rapist, will always find a reason. Look for a reason to indulge in the nefarious activity.
Okay, talking about that brings to limelight the issue of the legality surrounding what is described as child sexual abuse. You know, there are so many ignorant people that don't know the classification of the fact that somebody that is matured, that has reached puberty, is still a child in this part of the world. So at times they go about these things with the belief that it is not actually wrong for them to do that. You understand? So what is your take on that?
Well, under the law, the physical attributes of a person does not determine if the person is matured or not. It is the age. So no matter how tall, how physically developed the person is, as long as the person is a minor, the person is a minor. No matter whatever the person was doing as at the time you met the person, it doesn't count. It doesn't count. I've seen someone that said, but this, he made a very unfortunate statement that got me very angry. He said, but this young person that you are talking about is known around the street, so why should it be a case? I said, when you get to the court, you explain to the judge that because you've been seeing this young one around, so it's not a new thing. So that mindset, we must make people understand that a child is a child. A child is a child. And there is no consent between a child and an adult in such things.
Yes, even if it is she agreed.
There is no consent.
It is a crime.
It's a crime.
It is a crime. Okay, there's another headline on The Guardian. They talk about Africa accounts for 65% of global HIV burden. I remember some years back, Thabo Mbeki, the former president of South Africa, said there is no HIV, there is just poverty. You know, he was trying to, I think he was trying to talk about how it is poverty that leads to the prevalence of HIV. People are commercializing sex to survive. I was discussing with somebody recently. He worked with United Nations. They were in Taku for this kind of awareness. The refugee from the Amazonia, they were in Takum, and among them there was this prevalence of HIV victims, and they are ready to go down with anybody that has funds to survive, a meal for sex. So what is your position on this headline?
Well, I'm not surprised that this information is coming out now, because we, as you know, we are broadcasting from Jalingo, and if you look at the axis of Benue, Taraba, Adamawa, it is prevalent. The cases of HIV is really on the high in this side of the world. So for even in the past, some people believe there was nothing like HIV. I think we have seen enough cases within the society to understand that this thing is here, and we must do everything possible to ensure that we don't continue to spread it. And the thing again is that it seems the education and the awareness on HIV is dying off.
Can entrepreneurship, job creation, and wealth creation be a weapon that can be used against the prevalence of HIV?
Well, it could be used, but again, if the people are not aware of the fact that you need to protect yourself. When you empower them, they might think that this empowerment is for me
To have fun.
to have more fun. So we need to again begin to educate our people on how to protect ourselves from HIV/AIDS, because nowadays it's a long time. I saw a news story on HIV/AIDS. Now we talk about there are a lot of other things to discuss. Once upon a time, HIV/AIDS was the trending story. And again, I think we need to do more in the area. I know the drugs are free, the retroviral drugs are free and is being provided for, thanks to many donor agencies across the world. I think we are we also need to imbibe this habit of charity within ourselves. Yeah, we have very rich people in Africa who can bring money for research to be done on how to curb HIV, and also bring about put funds together, not to elect someone into power, but to look for a vaccine that can stop HIV. I think we should be worried about that in Africa. We shouldn't leave it to the Europeans or the Americans to decide what to do.
Okay, now we'll go on to headlines that have to do with politics. Still the Guardian, it said Atiku Damagum Wike absent as PDP leaders seek solution to party crisis. Are these people mention the problem of PDP?
The problem of PDP is beyond these three people, but they are part of the problem of PDP.
Okay.
PDP is a major party, and they need to put their acts together. Rather than coming together, uniting, they are pulling apart. The different camps in the party is pulling the party apart. They need to put aside the egos, come together as a team. Then again, I begin to ask, where is the BOT? Where are the other statesmen in this thing? What is the role of the former presidents from members of the parties that were former president, former vice president, former ministers? Atiku is a former vice president. As a matter of fact, his name is the only name, probably because he is still in the race, contested election. And this is time for those that PDP have made great men in this country to come together to salvage the party. Because not because I'm not a member of the PDP, I don't subscribe to any party, but I think we need a strong opposition, an opposition with structures across the country that can go head to head with the ruling party. As long as the ruling party sees that the opposition is not united, the opposition is not strong, they will relax. They will not be on their toes. We need the PDP. We need the PDP.
Can the loyalty of a person like Wike, who is serving under APC government, can his loyalty be relied upon as a PDP member? Can his loyalty to PDP be full in the light of the fact that he is a functional official of an APC-led government?
Well, to me, governance is above politics. As a Nigerian, irrespective of your party, when the call to serve comes, you have to go and serve the country. Now, that is that. But again, why I have issues with that of Wike is that he is serving the nation. But we know that he also have issues within the party. In the past, we've seen people that have gone to serve in a government or a kind of government of national unity, and they are still faithful. They did not create any ruckus within their party. In the case of Wike, he's been accused of polarizing the PDP, and that is why it's a concern. But again, a lot of them are also, Wike's case is just the loud one. A lot of them are involved in anti-party activities that we don't consider it as much as we consider the case of Wike. We've seen a BOT member goes to opposition party states and told them that your performance so far has earned you another term. We've also seen a state like Rivers due to the pressure, the internal pressure, the governor handing over, supporting people from other parties. So there's a lot of anti-party activities going on in PDP, and Wike is not the only one. And we also have factions of PDP and different states, and they are all working at cross purposes. So they really need to sit down. The elders, the statesmen in this party should take away politics, sit down, call together the parties and try to settle this matter.
Can you describe PDP now as a house of confusion?
PDP is a house of confusion and commotion as it stands now. Is a house against itself.
At the national level?
At the national level.
Okay, there's this headline on TG News. It's a TCN reveals cause of national grid collapse, vows quick recovery. Now they keep talking about they've discovered the cause of it, and this thing keep reoccurring. Is there any hope based on this, or should just keep our fingers crossed?
Like I said earlier, there's no hope in the national grid. I'm sorry to say this. It is very, very obvious. 5,000 megawatts of electricity for a country of over 200 million people. It cannot work. It cannot work. We need to look for other ways of generating and distributing power. As long as we keep on depending on these 5,000 megawatts on the national grid, it will keep collapsing, and eventually TCN is turning to they are writing more communiques. They release communiques every day like they are a news media house. Every day you hear something from TCN because they need to come and talk about what is happening. So it is quite obvious that the infrastructure we have cannot serve us any longer, and we should begin there should be a national plan, a state plan, a regional plan on how to gradually take ourselves out of this collapsing national grid and see how we can sustain ourselves locally in the issue of power.
Okay, we'll have to go back to the Guardian. So now there is this headline on the Guardian. It said the military confirms new terrorist group in the Northwest, and there is another headline on TG News that said war against terrorism. Musa, that's the Chris Musa, the chief of defense staff. Musa succeeding as terrorist leaders begging to surrender. Is this not a contradiction?
Well, it may not be a contradiction because we're talking about two different instances.
Oh,
yeah. In the case of the new terrorist group emerging, we spoke about it yesterday in Sokoto State. There's a new terrorist group emerging there, and I believe the security agencies should be doing something about that now. They should be worried. They should be looking for the source, the sponsors, the finance, the ideology behind this new terrorist group, their recruitment method, where they are based, and immediately they should be crushed. There should be no room for negotiation and anything. They should be crushed immediately, and their sources and sponsors should be arrested. They should be arrested and charged appropriately. Now concerning the issue of terrorists surrendering, yes, we've seen the military has been on the offensive for some time now. We all agree that the fight against insecurity has improved compared to what it used to be some few years ago. So now that the military is on the offensive, we are seeing some military terrorist commanders, bandits are surrendering. But as they are doing so, we are also seeing some of them gaining new ground, and the army will not be wrong to talk about their victories and keep silent about the negative ones.
Yeah.
So as they are engaging some, there are also some emerging behind them. So they need to do more. And well, it's a good one. It's good for the ops to say yes, they are surrendering, but we know that more needs to be done in that area.
Okay, there's this major headline on TG News is talking about bad roads in Nigeria, Saminaka Jos and Saminaka Kafanchan roads, the Golgotha journey of death. Even here in Taraba recently, the member representing Jalingo using constituency mentioned about the Jalingo Numa roads and things like that. We have so many bad roads in the north central and northeast and even the southeast of Nigeria.
Well, these roads are roads that these are the most the annoying thing is that these are major roads. We are not talking about roads that connect villages or connect places that are unknown. These are major roads. Now, in the case of that Jos Saminaka road, this is a major road. This is a road that used to fly in the late 90s and early 2000, going from Numan to then going from Numan to Zaria.
Okay.
So I know that sometimes from Jalingo to Numan to Gombe to Bauchi to Jos, Saminaka, then Zaria. I even once had around Soba, around the area. I once had an accident there. Okay. So this is a road I know so much, and the roads were, at least to an extent, they were motorable. Okay. They were motorable then. So it is a shame that such a road that connects major cities, that connects Plateau State and Kaduna State, would be as bad as what I'm saying.
If you look at the screen, look at the road is pretty bad.
It's pretty bad. This is not a road. This shouldn't be considered as a road. This shouldn't be considered as a road.
Yeah. Okay, there's another headline on the Natchez News. The Natchez News said governors, emirs decry climate change impacts on the northern economy. I think where the worst hits, it has to do with the issue of this climate change in Nigeria. I think the north of Nigeria is the worst hits.
Definitely, we are the worst hit because the geography of the north, the topography of the north. Then we have diverse weather conditions, with diverse weather conditions in the north. So you have the desert encroachment.
Yes.
You have the issue of drought. You have low rainfall. You have so all these factors come together, and it's played out this year. We had drought. We had flood. We have sunshine. So everything is playing out in the north. I think this issue cannot be solved individually by states.
Yeah,
there must be a regional plan. There must also be a national plan. And it is not something that we pay lip service to. It is not something that should be done. We should not be reacting to it. We should be proactive. It is going to occur again next year. How prepared are we? Are we only gathering money to give to victims? What are we doing to ensure that in the case of flood, we know areas that are always flooded? What is government doing to resettle people from those areas? What informations are they, what data are they gathering to ensure that they study the climate and see, okay, something is coming, flood is coming from this area. Then the issue of maintaining dams, drainages, and the rest of it. We need to begin to work on this. It is not enough going out saying that yes, we want to build roads, we want to build that, and without any proper drainage system. Eventually those roads will be washed away. So there's a lot to be done, and with the way the resources of the country is now, may God help us.
And this issue of how the climate change has affected the north in a very adverse way, one of them is the low yield of agricultural produce. Most northerners are into farming to survive, and like in Taraba, the maize, the granules, those crops that used to be monetized for solving economic needs have turned out not to yield well, and most analysis reveal that it is the effect of is there any way the government can what are the possible ways should the government introduce to augment this thing, like dry season farming, construction of grain reserve and other things like that. Because I think what this newspaper is talking about is the fact that the economy of the north is failing because of the failure of agriculture.
The economy of the north is dependent, it's highly dependent on agriculture, and that is what will drive the economy of the north, agriculture. Now, the reason why we're still having this issue is that we keep doing things the old ways and expect to get new results. Now, it is no longer the weather as we used to know, the planting season as we used to know, the rain pattern as we used to know is no longer there. The soil texture as we used to know, the sunshine as we used to know. So these are things that need to be put into consideration. Now, Nigeria has grown to the point whereby rainy season farming cannot sustain us any longer. Waiting for the rain to water your crop cannot sustain us. We need to invest in infrastructures that will help us farm during a dry season. And it seems dry season farming is more certain. You are able to control the factors. If it is water, you provide water. If it is this, there is no issue of flood during dry season. So what we need to do is to invest massively in providing infrastructure, in providing irrigation, in providing pumps for people to, in providing facilities that will enhance dry season farming. Now the past the rainy season farming has come and gone, and we can see that we are still far behind in providing, even within the farming state. It is not enough, not to talk of the whole country. So the pressure is on the little. I think government should sit down. State government should sit down. Reduce the rhetoric of looking for people who come and invest. Let us invest the resources we have on farmers. Invest the resources we have on farmers. Give them everything they need to succeed in the dry season farming. Provide silos and also provide avenues in which they can add value to their produce. Give them grains that can yield more than what they used to have before. And most importantly, provide security for them. Provide security for them. And I'm telling you, if this is done, in the next 5 years, the North will be able to sustain the whole of Nigeria and even export to a large extent.
Okay, now we'll go on to the Leadership Friday. Leadership Friday has this headline: Editors Conference opens debate on nation's economic recovery. Do you think the media, the press, has a role to play on Nigeria's economic recovery?
Of course they do, because whatever is being done, if the media is not part of it, you're just doing whatever you are doing in your own corner. And so if the media understands, come together and come up, we have very, very intelligent, very, very bright-minded people in the media, and some of them are not just people that study mass communication or political science, or to some of them are professionals from other fields that are in the media, and they are doing well. So if they can put together their expertise, and most of our editors are well-read. They understand, they've been around the world, they've served in many governments, they know a lot of things. So they can also put together, and they have the flair of the pen to put together a document that if the government can look into it, they might find solutions to our economic problem. The economy needs to recover, and the media is part of those that will push, that will drive the narratives that will change this thing, because we need to drive the narratives. We need to put the government on our toes to ensure that they understand that the policies are not yielding the fruits we expect of it. We cannot continue this way. The naira is falling on a daily basis. We are looking at 2,000 naira to a dollar. It gradually is creeping towards 2,000 naira to a dollar, and we're looking at the prices of fuel. We're looking at inflation and the rest of it. So this it is good that the editors are coming together to talk about this and also trying to bring out solutions to our problems.
Okay. Another caption, another headline on Leadership Friday. It said 22,239 policemen deployed for Ondo Goba election. Are we looking at the federal might hijacking the election again based on what has happened in the past?
I don't always like to view everything from hijack and the rest of it. If they don't provide security, it is people that will claim that they were left for talks to the, and we can't divorce ourselves from the fact that we Nigerians don't want to practice democracy. Both the winner and the loser don't want to practice democracy. Everybody is looking for a way to shortchange the system.
Has there been any person in recent times? Okay, I think I remember Jonathan Goodluck did that. Whosoever lost will cry foul. There are rare instances in Nigeria where a loser will concede defeat and say it was a fair play.
Fair play. That was one of the things that turned President Goodluck Jonathan from ordinary president to an extraordinary